Welcome to Bear Lifestyle, the podcast where we speak up and speak out about all taboo topics to make them normal and acceptable. I'm your host, Simona Spark, a best-selling author, international speaker, transformational coach, and so many other things. Beyond anything else, I'm a woman who stopped following other people's rules and started creating my own. In this space, we are ready to get naked by stripping away insecurities and judgments and all kinds of limitations and reaching in for the essence of who we really are Bear. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Please join the conversation by sharing with us your insights and your questions. You could email us directly to transformation@simonaspark.com, or you could DM us on Instagram at Simona Spark World. Thank you for joining me today. Let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bear Lifestyle Podcast. Welcome back for those of you that have been here before, and very special welcome for those of you that you landed here for the first time. Welcome. I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating myself with Italian orange tea. Cheers, cheers, everyone. Woo, here we are. As you know, if you've been here last week or 2 weeks ago, I moved into a new place. I moved into a studio in Beverly Hills. And if you've been following me for a while, I realized that from all the moves that I did throughout the years, and it's been so many, I lost counting, 4 different continents, I don't know, 7, 8 states and countries. Anyway, every time I move, it was kind of like I know that they say it's a new chapter, it's a new beginning, but it was. And this time feels the same as well. So as I move here and as I move into a new chapter of my life, I do want to start a new season of this podcast. So we're going to close this season number 4 with this episode, and starting new week, we're going to step into a new vibe. I might even change the music for the promo and the content. We'll see what this week is gonna bring, right? But like always, when we move into a new chapter, into a new space, whatever the space might be, location, career, relationships, we want to take a pause and acknowledge, realize, recognize who we have become. And more than that, take a minute, and by a minute, I mean a week, a month, or whatever the longest take, to integrate this new identity. Why do we do that? We do that because as we walk into a new space, we need to have a clear understanding and knowing of who we are before expecting other people to understand us, right? So this week, it's been very intense. I don't know how much you feel the moon's energy, but it's been like crazy the whole month, right? Starting with the crazy, powerful full moon at the beginning of the month, and then the new moon on the 16th, and another big shift on the 19th. And I've been integrating so many little parts that I work on in my personal journey, my inner work, and particularly and specifically with my femininity, my feminine energy. It was day after day that sensation of being discombobulated of like, who am I today, right? And just shifting and switching and flipping and turning and changing and integrating. Integration is a very big component. And I know from my coaching practice, a lot of people are actually skipping that step. I had clients that I worked with them for a couple months or so, and then they say, okay, I got it. I know they learn some reframes, they have some mindset shifts, and say, I got it. I got it from here. And nothing happened with the information. Like absolutely nothing happened just because we know things. Knowing doesn't mean behavior changing. We have to actually integrate that change. We have to implement it, apply it, integrate it, and see how that change, that shift, that insight actually change us, how it's impacting our identity, who we are becoming. And now we're in a space of transformation. So transformation cannot happen without integration. Information take you to knowledge, but that doesn't mean transformation. You have to implement, apply, practice, and integrate that knowledge, allow it to transform you, to impact your identity, to become this new person that now it's embodying that knowledge. It's an embodiment work. So I want to invite you to take a pause, look into your life, and maybe if you could identify when was the most recent turning point in your life when something changed. Maybe it was you walk into a new relationship, or you change your address, or a new child was born, or a breakup happened, right? Like those events that we tend to power through. Everything is going to be okay. I got this. And ignore the integration process. Not to mention the healing, if you went through a trauma, the celebration, if something amazing happened, like those elements. Regardless what we are talking about, every event, no matter how big or how insignificant might appear, leaves a print on us, leaves a print on our identity. So it is our job to pause, to look in, and to acknowledge that change, that shift, and get curious. Who am I now with this new component, part of my being, my experience? So here in this space, in a Bear Lifestyle podcast, I actually, the other day, here in LA, we deal with Hurricane Hillary. So we have lots of rain, couple earthquakes. So that was fun. And I was journaling a lot. It's not necessarily my go-to tool, but I was calling to my journal. And I really reflect and contemplate of what happened in this space, at least in this season that we are closing today. It is always exciting to me to look back to the episodes and see what was the conversation, what kind of topics, because every episode, it is a reflection of where I'm at in my life. And I'm speaking from my own transformation, from my own healing, from my own discovery, right? Because as I invite you guys, I do the same for myself. I meet myself first before I try to meet somebody else where they are. I meet myself first where I'm at. So through all this healing and shifting and switching and changing and turnings, I want to move this podcast into the direction where I'm going. So I need to be aligned with my creations in order to be able of showing up here effortlessly every week, right? So the new season, I want to dive deeper into the erotism of the relationships, right? Regardless if you're just in a relationship with yourself, with another person, or with multiple people. I want to have conversations about sex, about kinks, about BDSM practices, about taboo topics as promised, right? First of all, I'm doing this for myself because I'm on this path of learning, of discovering or experimenting. And I want to share with you as I learn. But I'm also doing it for you. So if you are here, if this is interesting, and this is something that it's a conversation that you want to participate in, let me know. What are the topics? Do you have questions? Do you have wonders? Leave them in the comments or DM me on Instagram at simonasparkworld, or email me directly to transformation@simonaspark.com. Yeah, let's talk about the goddamn things, right? And let's live fully. If I learned anything so far, because I'm still on my own journey, right? Just specifically this healing, this femininity, right? The wind in feminine is that, and I don't want to make it about women or men, like everybody has feminine and masculine energy, right? Regardless of sex, regardless of the sexual orientation, we all have feminine and masculine energy. So I'm talking about the wind and femininity. It's the one that doesn't let us show up fully. And yes, women might relate easier with this because it's coming from a place of, it's this fear of, I don't want to be too much, right? I don't want to be too emotional. I don't want to be too sexy. I don't want to be too this. I don't want to be too that. It's a very ingrained fear that might not even come from our own experience, from our own life. You know, we understand how programming works or karma works. If you believe in multiple lives, you don't have to, but this concept of we are not enough is the result that is manifested into the world when we do not show up fully out of fear of not being too much. If I make too much money, my husband might not feel good about it. If I am too sexy, I might get hurt. If I am too this, then that, right? Like it's just this fear of not being too much, which is so crazy because feminine energy, it's all about being too much. It's a life force. It's what it is. So it's supposed to come with a lot of idea, a lot of creativities, a lot of emotions, big emotions, a lot of nurturing, lots of love, right? So this probably will be a good topic to start the conversation in the next season. We might just start with this one to look into the different archetypes, if you wish, of or parts of our femininity. Regardless if you're a woman or you're a man or a transgender person, it doesn't matter. It's that we are talking about the feminine energy. So that's where I want to go next season. I want to go a little bit deeper. I'm ready to go deeper. I went quite deep into my own journey, and as always, I want to show up from a place of transformation. So whatever level I'm at, that's the only level I could hold a space in. And I'm going to speak from that place. And again, I want to invite you to send me your notes, your interest about specific topics, your questions, ask anything. I'm not saying that I'm going to have the answer, but we could find the answers together. At least to see if I could find somebody that have the answers and bring them on as guests. But let's do this together. All right. Well, I'm going to close here. Not before I remind you that the Bear Woman Retreat is open. It's open for registration. We only have 6 spots. It's going to take place here in Beverly Hills, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is October 20th, 21st, 22nd. So click the link into the show notes and see if this resonates with you. There is the different spaces to experience the bear lifestyle. So just look into the show notes and see which one resonates with you. And please don't judge it. As I say earlier, you have to meet yourself where you are. So pick up the spaces that it's gonna give you what you need now. And if you have any question, you could always email me to transformation@simonaspark.com or direct message me on Instagram, Simona Spark World. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next week in a new season. Till then, have a bear lifestyle and go ahead and have a bear experience, whatever that means to you. Bye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. Please follow, rate, and review your favorite episode and share it with your friends. I would love to hear from you. What inspired you? What triggered you? And what interests you? For more bear experiences, please go to simonaspark.com/bear. And for a daily bear inspiration, please follow us on Instagram @simonasparkworld. I can't wait to have you back. Until then, be bear, beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Lots of love, my friend.